Perfect. Perfectionism. Perfectionism is the killer of the flow state. So today we're going to be talking about perfectionism, and we're going to be very imperfect. We're going to be very imperfect because I need to shake things up a bit. I do get into a tendency to be very perfectionistic. That is something that I struggle with time and time again. Let's move this around here. And yeah, man, it really puts a stranglehold on everything. So here's my perfectionism. There's my vacuum cleaner in the background. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, man. Let's talk about perfectionism. I've got nothing to say in this video. I don't really know what I'm gonna say, but that's part of the whole vibe that we're going for. Let's just make that more appealing and get that box out of the way. Don't you see that? So, here we are, dude. Warts and all. Warts and all. Being imperfect human beings, as we all are. Perfect in our imperfectness. Water. Can't go wrong. Okay, so perfectionism. What if you could be in a flow state 24/7? What about that, man? What about that? What about being in a flow state 24/7? Wow. Wow, what would that entail? Wow. Why aren't you in a flow state 24/7? What is the flow state anyway? Well, it's just like effortlessness, you know. I feel like, you know, there's YouTuber Frank Yang, which has been my biggest inspiration on this whole journey of awakening and life. And he talks about, you know, enlightenment being like a 24/7 flow state. So imagine that, man. Imagine that. But yeah, what is a flow state? Well, yeah, effortlessness, I guess. See, it's like I don't know. Because the thing is, like, I feel like if you learn anything new, right? If you're learning a new skill, you can't really be in the flow state, you know? You can't really be in the flow state. It's like learning to play guitar, you know? As an example, you know, you have to learn the chords and you have to learn the finger placements, and it's really tedious, and you develop calluses on your finger, you know, it hurts your fingers, and you can't move your fingers fast enough to change chords. And you know, you can't, I guess you can get into a flow state of learning how to do that, you know, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that, you know, once you can do that, once you've learned how to change the finger placements quickly, then you can be in a flow state, and you're just playing like 3 chords, you know, E, A, D, E, A, D, E, A, D, A. E-A-D-A. Well, I'm a poor morning rubber. Some say my manners ain't the best. Some of my friends, yeah, they've been in real trouble. And some say I know better than the rest. But tell your mama and your papa. Well, sometimes the good guys don't wear white. They don't know, they don't wear white, they never know. So, you know, here's a perfect imperfect video for you. We're just gonna... So I don't know, man. We're just chilling, man. Yeah, we're chilling. I'm showing you. I'm expressing what it's like to just play. All you do is just play, 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 and you don't understand. I know, 'cause it's been showing. I've been known. There is a time and a place to be serious and to not be serious. Be the joker, be the jester. You know, there's this common archetype of the jester. You know, you smoke DMT, like everyone who smokes DMT, I've never tried DMT, but you know, I would love to. But everyone who's tried DMT, you know, they all see like the same kinds of entities. Why is that, man? Isn't that interesting? That when anybody smokes any DMT, they see the same entities. So there's obviously like these archetypes that are just kind of like inherent in human existence, right? And people often see the jester. And the jester kind of shows you that you're taking shit too seriously. I don't know where I was going with that. Again, it's an imperfect video. You know what you gotta do. You know what you gotta do, don't you? I know you do. You know what you gotta do. You do. You know what you gotta do. You just do know. So do it. I do it. I do it, do it, do it, do it. You can't keep putting it off. You know what you gotta do. You know what's right. You know what's good. You know it deep down, dude. Of course you do. And what is good and what is right, it always aligns with love and truth. As Neem Karoli Baba said, love everybody and tell the truth. And sometimes the truth is that you don't love everybody. But that's the truth. So, but it's like once you admit that to yourself, or you just say that, you know, you kind of admit that to yourself, then you open up into love. You know, it's like the truth is, I hate myself, or I hate the world. And when you actually open up to that, then it's like, you kind of grieve a bit, because it's actually, you know, the reason why you hate anything at all, or you dislike anything, is because you're hurt. And so when you actually admit that you hate something or you dislike something or whatever, then you're opening up a deeper layer and seeing the hurt underneath yourself, the wounds, the trauma. And it's like, oh no, and then you cry and you grieve. And then you open up to love. Your heart breaks wide open. So this is just, again, this is just a mess of thoughts that are coming in my mind right now. And there's no direction it's going in, at least not at the moment, because I'm just chilling with you here, and I hope you are enjoying it. So I've just come back from the gym, push day, did some bench press, and that stuff. Yeah, dude, I don't know. What are we going to be talking about today? My book's out. Come order my book on Amazon. You can get the ebook or the paperback. I have ordered a paperback for myself. I've yet to receive it, but I'm so keen to have that in my hand, dude. This book is called Beneath Belief, Existential Inquiries for Truth Realization. So it's a short book full of inquiries for direct investigation into the truth of your experience of reality. And yeah, man, check it out, because if you enjoy these videos, you'll enjoy this book, and you'll have something to hold in your own two hands, and you can read and meditate on it. I think it will be sick, dude. I'm keen to get the book. I haven't even got the book, dude. I haven't even got the book, and I wrote it. So check that out. The link will be in the description. But yeah, I guess this video is about perfectionism. And yeah, so let's kind of talk about perfectionism, shall we? You know, I do have a tendency to be... The recording stopped because my storage was full, but that's not now. So that's perfection. That's raw, no perfectionism for you have. Anyway, let's talk about perfectionism. So yeah, I have a tendency to get into a very perfectionism state. And why is this, man? Why is this? I feel like it's because we don't feel like we're enough as we are. And it's like, oh, I've got to get it perfect to feel enough, to feel validated, to you know, I just got to get it perfect just because I want to make something perfect. I don't know. You know, even if it isn't just to be enough for other people, but even for ourselves, you know, it's like, I've got to prove to myself that I'm worthy of this, that I can fulfill my potential and whatever. And yeah, it's just like, this is the thing, man. It's like, what kind of life do you want to live? Do you want to live a life where you are kind of like, kind of stressed all the time, but you create a lot of things, like you get a lot of shit done, you are fulfilling your potential? Or do you want to live a life with ease and flow state and relaxation and joy and spontaneity and play, but you don't get as much shit done? You don't fulfill your potential as much. See, because I think it actually is one or the other, dude. Like, of course, when you're in the flow state, when you're, you know, not trying to be perfect and whatever, and you're just kind of going with the flow and whatever, yeah, you're still going to make projects, you're still going to get shit done, but is it going to be as much as if you used your intellect and logic and been like, okay, I'm going to discipline myself, I'm going to make all this shit happen? Because in my own experience, it does seem like it's, you know, one or the other. But what I've also found is that just life is just so much more enjoyable when you let go, you know? When you let go of trying to fulfill your potential, you know, like feel it all. I mean, fuck, dude, like there's so many things that I could create. I have so many interests, so many areas that I could like focus on and make good things, you know? And it's like, fuck, dude, it's like if I try to get everything done that I want to get done, like I don't have enough time, dude. There isn't enough time for it. There just isn't, man. Like, I don't have enough time to get everything I want done in this lifetime. And more things are gonna keep coming up. I'm gonna, as time goes on, I'm gonna have more and more ideas about what I want to create and shit like this, you know, what I want to experience. And, you know, there's this whole thing of, you know, the FOMO, fear of missing out, and just feeling, you know, like you have so many options, and it's like this just overwhelm that just makes you miserable, man. So fulfilling your potential certainly comes with some suffering, you know. But like another thing is like, are you gonna ever be really fulfilled with any project you create, anything that you make in your life? Because you're gonna be fulfilled, but then it's like, okay, on to the next thing. You know, I've still got a lot of potential to fulfill, and you're just never really like satisfied. Whereas if you just kind of let go and you like kind of just like go with the flow, like, you know, maybe it's like, for me, it's like, you know, I've got these desires of like, okay, I want to make like a film, you know, I want to record songs, make an album or whatever. And, you know, if I like really put the effort into like, okay, this is what I'm going to do now, and I put in the effort and really kind of like be logical about it and try and craft something meticulously and whatever, it's like, yeah, I can get it, I can do that, and it's going to be like, I'm fucking proud of what I made and whatever. But versus like just kind of like letting go, and then kind of like just having the intention in mind of like, yeah, you know, I want to make films, I want to record songs, and then just kind of letting life happen where the conditions arise like organically, where maybe you meet like another musician and you just end up talking, and then it's just like, maybe they have like a recording studio and you're just like, oh fuck yeah, should we just like fuck about in the recording studio or some shit? And then you just fuck about in the recording studio, you make something, and it's like, okay, I did it, man, I did it organically. I didn't have to like, you know, have this control and be like, I'm gonna make this happen, you know? But you see, this is hard because it's like you have to actually let go of that. You have to let go of needing to make what you want to make. You know, can you be okay with going to your grave without ever fulfilling your potential, without ever creating what you want to create? See, that's powerful, man. Like, that's fucking hard to let go of, man. Of course it is. And I'm not saying that you should, you know, I'm just giving some ideas, you know. But again, like what I've noticed a lot, you know, is there is a certain amount of suffering that comes about when you are really trying to put in control, you know, have control about what you want to create in this life. Whereas just what feels natural. But again, like it's all, you know, context dependent. It all, you know, what do you think? You know, don't listen to me. I'm just giving some ideas. What feels right to you? That's ultimately what it is about, man. You know, what feels right to me, you know? Does it feel right to really put in some control and effort and dedication and get something done? Or does it feel more right to just kind of let go a bit, let things happen more organically, you know? And there's different, life will present different phases and chapters, which, you know, maybe you're doing one, maybe you're doing the other in different phases and chapters of your life, if you know what I mean. And yeah, you know, like you just have a lot more fun when you just let go, let things happen. Like this video, like I've talked about this before, like sometimes when I make these videos, there's a lot of perfectionism within me, and I was like, okay, like, you know, I can't just like fuck about in this video. You know, it's like, I can't waste people's time, you know, like people's time is valuable. I can't just like fucking just be like blah, 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 like I have in this video. You know, I have to get straight to the point. But that puts a lot of pressure on me. It puts a lot of like, you know, and it doesn't become enjoyable, you know? Because where the enjoyment comes from is getting into a flow state. But it's kind of like when you're in a flow state, it's like you can't have your cake and eat it too. It's kind of like that in a sense, like, because if you're in like a flow state 24/7, then there's no time to really reflect on what you're doing, to like use the logical mind as much, because you're just in a flow state. And so you're not like identifying with anything, or like, you know, you're not saying like, okay, this is what I've done, this is what I stand for, this is my identity and whatever. So it's kind of like, you know, you're just going about life, you know, having such a good time, but you're just, if you're in flow state, you know, you're always on to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. I mean, you don't think of it like that because it's just the moment. And there's no time to look back at the past and to be like, yes, I'm a musician and I have created this, because you're just having fun with the current thing, you know, you're not reflecting so much on what you've done, you know? So it's kind of like, you're just eating your cake constantly, you know, but you don't have your cake, you're just eating it, you know, you're not having your cake and eating it too, you're just eating it, but you're not having it. Whereas if, you're not in a flow state, maybe you're just having your cake. You just got your cake here. And I don't know what the fuck. But I feel like we're all looking for that flow state, because that is what's most enjoyable, man. That's what's most enjoyable. That's what is most freeing and relieving and relaxing, and that's what we all want. But yeah, it's like we're afraid to go in that flow state because we're constantly wanting to latch onto something and identify with something, or to solidify something that is long gone, but trying to fix it and hold on to it. That's what causes suffering, man. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. So I hope this video was valuable for you. Please like this video and subscribe. That helps me out a lot. I would appreciate that. And come join our online community, the Truth Playground, top link in the description. And yeah, come check out the book that I've written. The link will be in the description as well. So thank you for watching, and I wish you a very flow statey life. Goodbye.